Executive Mark Poloncarz, and we are here today to make some very important announcements regarding affordable housing and projects that Erie County will be supporting in the very near future. As we've heard for some time, we have an affordable housing crisis in the United States. We're feeling it here in Buffalo in Erie County. And we could not sit on the sideline. So I'm very pleased to be here with our Chairwoman of the Erie County Legislature, April Baskin, who you'll be hearing from soon, to talk about how Erie County has played a role to try to address the affordable housing crisis in our community. In the 2023 State of the County, I talked about how we could not sit on the sidelines. We had to play a more expansive role. And that's by investing money in qualified and good affordable housing projects across our community. At that time, I announced a $6.5 million investment of funds from the American Rescue Plan. So the American Rescue Plan would only be here because of the passage of it by the Biden-Harris administration. So I want to give a big shout out and congratulations and thank you. Thank you to the Biden-Harris administration and our former Congressman Brian Higgins, who were supportive of it. At that point, we talked about how we were going to invest in affordable housing. $6.5 million for multi-unit projects across Erie County. And then $13.5 million for what's considered infill housing for single-family residents across all of Erie County. Brand new homes that will be built in Buffalo, Cheektowaga, and other places to ensure that we stabilize neighborhoods, stabilize communities, and hopefully cause others to invest in their houses and their communities. So as a result, we came up with a plan in which $5.5 million of the $6.5 million was approved for 11 projects with a $500,000 per project investment each. That $5.5 million leveraged $313 million of private developer funds and created 703 new affordable housing units that are in the process of being built. Thank you. Now, those projects are larger, often by some developers who've been doing this for many, many years. But we also realized we couldn't limit it to just the larger developers. We had to ensure that we were investing in smaller developers, developers whose projects may not be as large, but were just as important as it pertained to growth in our communities and ensuring we address the affordable housing crisis here in Erie County. So that's why today I'm proud, with our Chairwoman, to announce that we will be investing $1 million in round 2 investments that will go to 5 projects that will leverage $25 million of private sector investment and create another 48 affordable housing units in the city of Buffalo. You'll hear more about the specifics associated with these projects from our Chairwoman, as well as from our Commissioner of the Department of Environment and Planning, who I'll be introducing very soon. But I want to thank the developers that are here today, the individuals from the specific development firms. These are smaller firms that do not generally involve themselves in the development of affordable housing projects, but they've decided to put their money where their mouth is and help create a better community for all. So to Cedarland Development, Sacred Heart by Arugo Holdings, Loads of Love, the Gibson Creative Arts Space by Amory Rose, and Hopkins Manor by Triton Ventures. Thank you. Thank you for your investments. You'll hear a lot more about them. The only way we can address affordable housing is to build more homes, to build more units. It's not going to happen on its own. If we lose units or we don't grow, the ones that we still have are only going to increase in price. We're going to price out individuals from owning a home. We're going to price out individuals from being able to afford a high quality, nice apartment. And that's what these projects are doing, is ensuring that we're going to have high quality homes through the individual homes that we're building. And also, of course, with the multi-unit tenant, we're going to create more, as I said, a total of 700 251 new affordable housing units across Erie County. And that has never been done as a part of Erie County government. This would not have happened without the strong support and effort and work of our partners across various spectrums. Especially I want to thank our Commissioner of the Department of Environment and Planning, Dan Castle, and his team, led by Thomas Baines, which have gone through all of the RFPs, all of the proposals which you hear about, so that we can pick these projects, so that we can invest in them. This money does not come easy. We did not want to invest them in projects that were not going to succeed. We feel very comfortable that each of these projects are going to succeed, and each of these developers this will just be the start for many of them. And we'll continue to see growth in our community. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to our Commissioner of the Department of Environment and Planning. Dan Castle will say a few words before I come back up.
All right.
So,
thank you, County Executive. Historically, the Erie County Department of Environment and Planning has not done a lot of affordable housing. Erie County hasn't. But when the County Executive announced that he wanted to spend and invest $20 million into affordable housing, he called us into a meeting. I was with Thomas Baines, and we're like, wow, okay, that's a big lift. But we're up to the challenge. Thomas has been great, a source of experience. As County Executive mentioned earlier this year, we approved a series of grants to larger developers, larger projects that were since approved by the legislature. It was really apparent in there that there was a lot of really good projects that were smaller, emerging, maybe new developers in the space. And we all know that building affordable housing in this day and age is very complex. It's more time consuming, it's more expensive. It's not like a development project where you can just go to a bank and get commercial financing. You have to stack financing from the federal government, the state government, foundations, county government, and it's just complex. And all those sources of funding have requirements and strings attached, but they're all intended to develop a certain types of housing for our community. And we're really proud in this round to have some 5 really good projects around the community. Some are mixed housing, some are just affordable housing, some are smaller, some are 8, 9, 10 units. But they're all meaningful projects, not only for the housing they provide, but also the experience they provide for the developers. And so we're going through this process. We will be at the legislature this coming Thursday to present and get the legislature's authorization to proceed, and then we will immediately jump in and start administering these contracts and getting the projects running. So we're very much looking forward to doing a few ribbon cuttings with you all in attendance. So thank you very much.
thank you, Commissioner. And once again, I do want to thank the Department of Environment and Planning. Most departments, when I say, hey, I want to spend $20 million, they're like, yeah! In this situation, the department was like, yeah, but how are we going to do it? And I want to thank them for going through this process, vetting all of the applicants, first on the original $5.5 million program, and now the $1 million with this, and then, of course, the $13.5 million, which is going for the single-family homes. It's something we can be proud of because we're rebuilding neighborhoods. We're investing in our community, and as a result of it, we'll have a better community. My partner through this has been our Chairwoman, April Baskin. The Chairwoman was a strong advocate not only for the investment of this affordable housing funds, but ensuring that the affordable housing funds went not just to a few large developers, but to smaller ones as well. And that's why we had different rounds. Round one, which was for some of the projects that were moving along and were in a good position, but just needed a little additional funding. And others that maybe weren't in the same position, but we knew could be good ones. And she was an advocate for those, and I want to thank her for her strong support. Going to the legislature and saying you want to spend $20 million on affordable housing, $6.5 million of which is for multi-unit, in years past would have been a lift. Some of our legislators would have said, nah, let's go spend that money in the suburbs on a road. Well, this $20 million is going to have a tremendous impact in so many other ways. The $1 million we're doing with this these developers is going to have a much better impact in the long run in our community than just putting $1 million, one more on a road. And I want to thank her for her strong advocacy because we were able to get this through the legislature because of her. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. What's going on, Buffalo? I want to thank our partners in government that are joining us here today. Definitely want to give a shout out to Reverend Blue, President of the NAACP, for hosting us outside of your headquarters today. Thank you, Reverend Blue. To the county executive and myself's partner in city government, Councilmember Mitch Nowakowski has joined us here today. Thank you, Councilmember, for being here. Again, I want to acknowledge the hard work of Commissioner Dan Castle and Deputy Commissioner Thomas Baines. Commissioner Castle, you and I have had long talks and meetings in your office over the last 2 years about equity, inclusion in the space of small business development in Erie County. And you always invite me in, even when I don't have a meeting. And you always take my call. You too, Mr. Baines, and I thank you for that. And to my fierce partner in government, give it up for our county executive, Mark Poloncarz. He is such a tremendous leader. County government has never had a county executive like Mark Poloncarz, one that is astute in making sure that the people's money, public dollars, is always balanced, and that we have an innovative agenda that addresses all the needs of all the residents in Erie County. So thank you to County Executive Poloncarz for your leadership. And then last but certainly not least, my partners in the county legislature, who I don't think any of them are here with us today, but I'm very grateful for their hard work. As the county executive said, up until this past year, developing affordable housing was not a function of county government, but it is through the Poloncarz administration, it is through the leadership of the majority caucus in the county legislature that it now is. And so I'm very grateful to my colleagues. And I start on the point of diversity, equity, inclusion, and innovation because we have to talk about the society that we live in. And in our society, business owners are sadly expected to be at a certain level of success before they can obtain wealth. I am in a belief system that that is absolutely wrong. County government must provide resources and opportunities to allow all business owners the opportunity to scale up to excellence. Now, county government is the branch of government that provides human services, and we provide residents with the services that they need to go from surviving to thriving. And business owners are included in that population. Business owners certainly deserve the opportunity for county government to come in and provide them the support that they need to get their projects, their business sustainable, and to get access fair and equitable contracts with county government and get projects done. That was the mission behind the Level Up initiative that my office launched 2 years ago, which engaged marginalized developers across the city of Buffalo and helped them break into corporate C-suite spaces. That was the mission behind the county executive and myself's fight, along with the governor, with the Buffalo Bills, to make sure that we not only had a community benefits agreement, but we had an agreement that right-sized and customized contracts to meet the capacity of suppliers, of contractors, of special professional services, and everybody else that wanted to compete on the stadium. And that same mission is why we are here today. It was the mission that was behind the RFP that has led us to celebrate the developers that stand behind me today. And I have to tell you, I am so proud that we are announcing more affordable housing to be developed in Erie County, because we know that housing is a human right. I said housing is a human right. Everybody deserves fair and equitable housing. But I have to tell you today, I'm actually a little more excited. We're not just developing more affordable housing, but we're creating it with developers from marginalized and diverse backgrounds. Today, Erie County government is leading the way in creating equitable opportunities for developers from all walks of life. Now, some might think investing in an emerging developer is a gamble, but it's something that we should be doing in county government. The conversation around investing in emerging developers being a risk or something that's a gamble is the ideology that continues to keep individuals born with less corporate network leverage boxed out of industry opportunities nationwide. I do not know why we assume that business owners who have been born into low economic statuses or different living conditions than others are less skilled or less qualified to be considered for the same exact government subsidies that business owners who are born into wealth and legacies and dynasties are afforded with. The pathway to success is more accessible when you are raised in a network of endless opportunity. And when you are not, the truth of the matter is you are deemed a risk. And when you are from Buffalo, where poverty and marginalization aligns with racially segregated communities, your path to wealth through corporate level business transactions has been non-existent. But today, we celebrate an RFP that was issued to these awardees. And in that RFP, being a developer that is new to the world of development counted for good. Being a developer from a marginalized background counted for good. Being a developer who was in the midst of seeking additional investors so that you can continue to grow your project, it counted for good. Now, do not get it twisted. Each of these developers that are standing behind me are educated, they are knowledgeable in the space of development, they are resourceful, and they have done the work to properly prepare an affordable housing project that aligns with industry standards. And it is my privilege to support their work, the transformational impact that their project will have on our local economy, and to always stand with developers like the ones that are behind me. We need to develop affordable housing for all, but we need it to be done by developers from all backgrounds. Thank you all so much for your support. So proud of everybody that's here today. We now are going to hear from the people we really are here to celebrate, the developers. I'm going to call them up in this order. First, Lindsay Taylor from Amory Rose LLC. Then Brandy Barrett. I think her partner Jaquise and Polly are here joining her today. And they are from Barrett Benitez Development LLC. And then we have Dr. Mafizi, who is from Rugo Holdings LLC, followed by Dr. Fadi, president of Cedarland Development, who is here with my good friend Kevin Dagger, CEO of Cedarland Development. And then finally, we'll close out with Quentin Smith, president of Triton LLC. Give it up for our developers. Lindsay.
All right. How y'all doing? All right. First off, I'd like to thank County Executive Mark Poloncarz, Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner Thomas Baines, Commissioner Castle, and my sister in this fight, Chairwoman April Baskin. We had great conversations. She's been going to the fight for us for this project, as many others. And man, it's just a pivotal moment. It's a little emotional to see this fight for over almost 6 years, right? This isn't with the Gibson Development. It was right in the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood, right on the east side of Buffalo. This project led by a man of color that will have African Americans, BIPOC contractors on this project all the way through is going to be really pivotal. This isn't our beginning in the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood. As you all know, that we've been investing in the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood with the Buffalo Future Terminal, our great partners. Some of them are here today. We actually just got approved for a lease inside of the Broadway Market to have our field office and our community office for Buffalo Music and Arts inside the Broadway Market. So we're really excited. This project will host affordable housing. It'll be a hub for creativity, a hub for community, a hub for business. And it's going to also be a catalyst for more projects to come through our development and also through our entities. So we're really excited for this. I can't thank you enough. This has been a great honor to be a part of this selection. And I'm just super proud about all of this. And thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Jaquise Benitez, and this is Brandy Barrett from Barrett and Benitez. We are from the Lowe's of Love Project. We want to thank Chairman Ms. April Baskins for this great recognition. We know that the Lowe's of Love Project will be different, will be innovative, will create so much opportunity for not only the businesses but for the community in the Michigan area. So we are just so happy and appreciative of the opportunity. Thank you so much for being here, our family and friends who are supporting, everyone that has continuously given us the opportunity to speak. Ms. Baskins that literally had us the opportunity to sit in her office and talk to us about our story and talk to us why this is so important for us. So thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it.
Paul Perez, partner in the Lowe's of Love project, also a developer for Better Living Interest LLC. I just want to make a statement. Today marks a pivotal moment in the economic revolution in Erie County and our city of Buffalo. We are witnessing a transformative start of an era, led by community elected official leaders such as Erie County Majority Leader, soon to be our New York State Senator, April Baskin. Speak into existence. It is a collaboration with government and business leaders as we are in front of you displaying investment. This is the resurgence era of generational wealth building for the east side of Buffalo and its native folks. Generational wealth is more than just accumulation of assets. It's a culture. It is shared practices, values, and strategies that families use to accumulate, preserve, and pass down wealth across multiple generations. Though we have 3 Black-owned developers here, we need more. To those watching and those present, we are the next generation in this timeline, carrying forward the torch of our predecessors. We are the culture of generational wealth. Together, let us embrace the responsibility and build a future that is prosperous, sustainable, and grounded in our shared values. This is our response to honor our families and friends who passed during May 14th, 2012 tragedy. We invest and we build in our own communities. Thank you.
I just want to quickly thank our team that has been with us throughout this entire process. So Urban Vantage, Rich Rogers, Peter Deckert with BCC, Buffalo Consulting Contractors, and Ecologic, Scott Pytek, and Kevin Connor. So we really appreciate you guys for sticking with us to getting this project to this point. And as Paul said, it's more to come. So thank you.
My name is Reverend Fizi. I'm with Google Holdings. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share our excitement project at 198 Emsley Street, the renovation of the former Sacred Heart Church and Convent. This historic site, once a place of faith and community, will soon serve our neighborhood in a new, meaningful way. We are transforming the main floor of the church into modern office space. The sacristy of the church will become studio apartment, and the basement will become apartments, and the convent will be turned into apartments, providing much needed affordable housing in the community. This project preserves the building history while bringing new life to the neighborhood. It will create spaces for growth, community events, and economic development. We are grateful to Erie County for their support and funding. We also thank the City of Buffalo and New York State for their support and their assistance, along with other partners, will help us turn this vision into reality. Thank you very much.
How's everyone doing? Good afternoon. I want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Kevin Dagger. I'm the CEO of Searland Development. I want to start by thanking our Erie County elected officials, County Executive Mark Poloncarz, and Majority Leader April Baskin. Thank you for your leadership, and as well as the other elected officials here. It's been a pleasure to work with you through this process. Our project is called Park 75, located on Delaware, and it is an 84-unit full rehab of a former nursing home that has been an eyesore for many years. And with these funds, we're going to be able to utilize blending market rate with affordable housing and truly creating an inclusive community in our home, the city of Buffalo. So really excited about that. Funding like this makes it possible for new developers like us to gain valuable experience in affordable housing while meeting the community's needs and demands. We can't wait to open our doors at Park 75 in the summer of 2025, and we want to thank you again for making this possible. Thank you.
Thanks,
This has been a great day. We appreciate everyone here. I want to take the opportunity to thank the county leaders, Mr. Poloncarz, Ms. Baskins. We really appreciate you. I am Quentin Smith. Our project is 696 Hopkins Manor. We are excited about bringing affordable housing to the area. I am a lifelong county resident. I've been in the city of Buffalo. I was raised in Buffalo Public Schools. So to be able to come back, give back to our community, take on a project that's affordable housing to give back to everyone, it's just a great honor. So I'm not going to be before you long. I just want to thank you for coming out. Thank everyone here. We appreciate all our partners, and let's get more and more and more affordable housing.
I just want to thank everybody once again. This is a really great day, but the best day will be when these projects open their doors. And I'm looking forward to that in the next couple of years. And as a result, we'll be able to create more affordable housing. And as we said, when you see this happen, especially we've seen in other communities, when there's investment in housing in a neighborhood, others invest in the neighborhood. So we fully expect that this will have a multiplier effect, that other developers will want to invest in those neighborhoods as well. So thank you all for being here. I know we have a few checks that are going to be handed out, but just as a reminder, you can take this check to the bank, but they won't cash it. Gotta wait a while for the actual money. Before we do that, we'll open up to any questions from the media.
Since public money's involved, what are the checks and balances to make sure they're successful?
Oh, there's a lot. The question was, if public money's involved, what are the checks and balances that are there to be successful? It's a significant amount of checks and balances that the Department of Environment and Planning has to do before they release the funds. I think it's important for the people to understand it just wasn't, oh, look at that, see? Get some happy people here. See, it would have to be signed by Kevin Hardwick, the controller, to make it. So, but it still looks good. The checks and balances are not just the reviews that we did to award them. It's afterwards to ensure the projects are moving along, that the other funding sources that the developers said they were going to have are actually there. So we're not putting money in for a project where they say they've got 75% of the other funds and then they don't have it. So we would not be standing here today with these announcements if we did not feel that these were all legitimate projects that were moving forward, and they had other commitments. That's the key. We're not the only partners at the table. The New York State is a partner at the table through the Department of Housing and Community Renewal. There's other funding sources across the board, even some from the city of Buffalo. So I think what's important to understand is this is a community effort, and we feel very confident that the investments you see from Erie County will not only result in affordable housing, but as you said, will be multiplier effects in the future.
Yeah, just a little bit about that. What difference does it make to the neighborhoods that are getting these housing units? And are they owned or rented or what?
Well, for these will be rental units. The other portion, the single-family infill housing, will be owned. Those are not rentals. Those are actually will be built by the county. The individuals have to get a mortgage, but then we're subsidizing a portion of the purchase price. So if it costs us $300,000 to build a house, they may have to get a $200,000 mortgage, and then we're subsidizing $100,000 of it. They have to live in it for a certain time. They can't just flip it. They have to live in it for many years, and then they have home equity. With these, what we see, and we're starting to see it already with some of the projects that have been developed. I think Jefferson's a good example of that. On Jefferson, you saw one major apartment complex be built. Then you saw another major apartment complex be built. Then you saw the city's investment of HUD dollars, and it's a multiplier effect. And that's what I expect to see here as well in these neighborhoods. And while these projects are in the city of Buffalo, not all of the multi-unit projects in the first round were in the city of Buffalo, somewhere elsewhere. So what we see is once you do this investment, then other developers come in, other people want to come in, owners of nearby properties want to invest in their properties and make them nicer. So, did you have anything else? Okay.
Could you talk a little bit more specifically, are these buildings that already exist that are going to be retrofitted? It sounded like one's a former church or church property.
Yes, the answer on most of those is yes. The specifics vary though.
But they're all apartments.
They will.
Multi-unit apartments.
Yes, they may not, like, for example, the Sacred Heart Church, it was a church. It was not used for apartments. It's being converted to it. I don't know if why don't we have each of the developers just quickly say what their project is, and so why don't we with the same order we did last time. Oh, okay. And please introduce yourself and spell your name for the media.
Yours was a former bar.
Yeah. Okay. You got to say that. Lindsey Taylor, LINDSEYTAYLOR, principal owner of Amory Rose. The project is 232 Gibson Street, which sits right across from the Broadway Market. It was the former, as we all know, Carl knows, Mitch knows, is that it was the former Sandy's Bar. It was the former the Gibson Bar. But we are repurposing this use to be a creative hub. It's a mixed use. There'll be a creative hub space, a creative placemaking space in the commercial space, and then the upper units will be affordable housing units right there in that neighborhood. So this is just the catalyst for what we're going to be doing. So we're really excited about this. The neighborhood's really excited about what's happening. This property has been sitting vacant for nearly 7 years. That was due to a fire. Nobody has touched it in 7 years. So took on that vision, took on that stronghold, went to bat, and said we want to do something with this building that's positive. We already have imprint, as I mentioned before, in the Broadway Fillmore community with our placemaking that's happening at the Buffalo Central Terminal, what we're going to be doing with the Broadway Market. So we're entrenched right there in the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood. So we're really excited about that.
Brandy Barrett, BRANDI, Barrett, BARRETT, co-owner of Barrett and Benitez Development. Our project is an infill project, so we're building from the ground up. We recently received a zoning approval to rezone from residential to mixed commercial, which is an unprecedented change. We all know Michigan back in the day was mixed commercial. There were many businesses along Michigan, so we're just bringing back what was already there. The goal of our development company is to realize essential services in disinvested neighborhoods to make these communities more walkable. That's what I remember, and I'm 40 years old. So we just are breathing back into the neighborhoods with what's already there with essential services like a laundromat, which is an eco-friendly laundromat, eco-friendly laundromat, as well as 5 residential affordable housing units.
Where is this again?
This is at the corner of Michigan and Laurel.
Jacasey Benitez from Barrett and Benitez. Jacasey, Jackeysy, Benitez, Benitez. Just to share the sentiments of my partner here, with the eco-friendly laundromat, we are providing an essential resource. We know that in that area in the east side of Buffalo, there aren't a lot of essential resources. There's a food desert, and along with a lot of other things like pharmacies and supermarkets, that area needs a lot of development. So we're hoping that with the Lowe's of Love project, we can continue, we can create an opportunity for others investors to come in and to be able to bring more life into that area. So we are looking forward to working with all of you all to engage us and to continue supporting us, and we are excited. This is a wonderful opportunity, and we are just really excited for the change. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Reverend Mefizi. I co-own Google, Reverin, last name Mfizi. I co-own Google Holdings with my wife, who is here in the audience. The Sacred Heart is a building that has a history in that community, and our goal was always to make sure that this building that has served the community in the past, that it continues to serve the same community in the future. And we're grateful with our partners. We have been working together to put together a plan that includes residential, commercial, and event spaces that we hope in the future will even continue to serve this community even better. So we have apartments, we have office space, we have event space in that building. Through this route of mixed use, transforming this old building into mixed use properties, we thought that it would be a good way to do it and help this building serve the community in the future. And that's what we have done, and that's what we're working on with our partners. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Dagger, KEVINDAGHER with Cedarland Development. Our project consists of an 84-unit rehab of a former nursing home that has been vacant for about 8 years on Delaware. So we're really excited to breathe new life into that location and create a denser community And with these funds, we're going to be able to mix affordable housing with market rate to create a diverse community for the area. Thank you. 1175.
Quentin Smith, Quinton-Smith, president of Triton Ventures. Once again, our project is 696 Hopkins. It's on the west side of Buffalo. We will be rehabbing the units so that there will be affordable housing, and we're going to target either veterans and or a community that can afford those housing units. So if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you. Before we finish and then take a group picture with everyone, I'll turn over to our friend of the Fillmore Council District, Representative Mitch Nowakowski, who some of these projects will be in his district, and he can talk a little bit more about the importance of these projects. Councilmember?
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. So there is no greater partners in county government to the city of Buffalo like County Executive Mark Poloncarz and Chairwoman April Baskin, who are filling critical needs in the city of Buffalo and not only empowering local developers, but also fixing key and vital parts of the district that I represent. So life is tough enough, I want to crack a joke, but it's also serious too. So Lindsay Taylor is a great partner with me in the Broadway-Fillmore area. The structure that he acquired did face vacancy, abandonment, and a fire. I was in housing court a few months ago for another item, and I was in the back of housing court, and I heard and saw Lindsay have to go approach the bench and atone for kind of the sins of his predecessor or the prior owner. And don't worry, Lindsay, I wasn't going to fight the bailiff, but I did have bail money. So wait a minute, I know he's trying to every resource he can to get this structure up and running. But the fact of the matter is people who don't have any vision tear buildings down. People who have vision build things up, and that's the people that we have right here. And not only am I, great friends with the Daggers, who are transforming parts of my Broadway-Fillmore neighborhood like nobody's business. I also have a connection to Dr. Mafizi, who is and was one of my political science professors. And 5 years later, I became a politician. So if he can do that, I think he knows what he's doing. So thank you, county government, for being a partner of the city of Buffalo in rebuilding our neighborhoods together. Thank you.
Get everyone with the checks right in front here. Just right in front of the podium. Housing!